Hello and welcome to another one of my streams. So today I'm trying something completely new. I'm trying to, let me just move my microphone a little bit. That should be better. Sorry about the rumble. Today I'll try to stream both to YouTube and to Twitch at the same time. So using Restream.io. Well, I have set my webcam up, so let me just show you. Hello, here I am. I know I'm a bit offset. That is with good reason. That is simply because I have adjusted my webcam, so when I actually play the game, you will see me down in the corner down below, and yeah. So that's why it's adjusted. I can just quickly, let me just I can find the right key, like that, and like that. Better. All right. So now you can also see my living room in the background. Yes, no green screen today. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. Also, you can probably also hear the cats running around in the background. You might even see one jump up here behind me. I think they're gamer cats. I'm not sure about that. So, you might ask yourself, what is going on? Has he lost traction in Star Citizen? And the answer to that question is a very loud and very clear no. I certainly have not. And my phone gave a ring for some reason. I think it was a... Oh, come on. There we go. Better? I'm not sure why I lost connection. No. I most definitely have not lost traction in Star Citizen. I just thought it could be interesting to sort of branch out a little bit on the gaming, and that's I don't want to play the same games all the time. I want to play other games, and Farming Simulator has been one of those games that I have just liked for a very long time. So that is why I'm going to yeah, that was one, a cat, if you saw it. I certainly did. We have two cats, and they are very active late at night like this. So yeah. Let me present the games that we're going to play. Today I'm going to play a little bit on Fenton Forest. I have a steering wheel, so we might hear that rumble around in the background. I'm just trying to get this cord here to behave a little bit. You might hear it in the background. Also, I have set up the Restream bot, so anyone writing on the chat on YouTube and anyone writing in the chat on what's it called? Twitch. Sorry, I'm just let me just see. Yeah, I think I need to open a. Let me just see docs. I think I need to change the name of the game in on Twitch. I'm sorry about that. It's the first time I actually use yeah, I just had to turn off the audio. Yeah, it says Star Citizen. Let me just see if I can change that somehow. Let me see. Create a dashboard, perhaps. And let me see. Edit stream info. That was yes, and it's no. It is most definitely not. Yes, Farming Simulator 19. Switch tags. English. Done. That's the only downside, I think, with doing the restream, is that if you cannot select the game that you're playing here in the little scroll down you have here. And as far as I can see, Farming Simulator 19 is not here. Then it won't update that to the stream itself. So I have to sort of manually set both the stream in. Sorry, just lost track. It's a bit late here. It's 11:19 p.m. almost 12. Nevertheless, yeah, I need to set the name in Twitch itself in order to have the correct game here. It says Farming Simulator 19, but when doing restream, blah 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 blah. You don't care about that. You just want to see me play games, obviously. I hope so. But the game is very much ready. So let's go into it, and let me turn up the audio. Let's see if we can get it to behave like I want it to. Yes, no. There we are. Let's turn up the audio just a tad. Like that. Let me see if that's okay. Yeah, it seems to be okay. Alright, let's get going. So, today we're going to play on Fenton Forest. Now, I have this, you can probably see I call it YouTube farm. That is because we're going to go directly into the YouTube farm that I had. So, I have a bit of money, start from scratch, and I have played 3 hours here, so as you can see I've recorded a little bit. But because Stevie made a lot of updates to... seems to be okay. Stevie made... the one who has made the map is called Stevie. So because he made a lot of different changes to the game, to the map, updates, that's lovely. It's really good that the people that make maps, that they make updates. But obviously it also means that whenever he made a major update, I had to change the. Let me see. More like it. So now you can better see me. Now I know it's a good idea to have that green screen in the background, but I simply don't have the lighting, the necessary lighting for the night. So yeah, that's just the way it is. Alright, so hopefully we can get started here. I unfortunately forgot to start the recording, so it's a bit off, but well. Now I will have both a live stream on YouTube and a live stream on Twitch, and I will also put out the video whenever I can do it. So I'm also a bit curious to see how Farming Simulator is going to go with OBS, because with it seems that OBS, as much as it can, seems to be a much more lightweight system than, for instance, what is it called? It is called Bandicam. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how the frame rate will be, because sometimes when I record it with Bandicam, the frame rate could drop a little bit. Nevertheless, let's go into the game and make some farming. Do some farming, it's called. And just see the audio level. That seems to be okay. Maybe it's ducking a little bit. Let me just turn up the audio just a little bit to somewhere around like that. Should be better. Yeah. Seems like it. If you don't like it, then, well, also one of the things that I would like for you to tell me is whether the audio... Oh, it's really frame rate lagging. I don't like that at all. I'm not sure why it is, but it is. Maybe it's still loading some stuff. Let's check out and see. Well, there aren't... doesn't say that there are frames missing. Have I set the... let me just check. So, well, it doesn't matter because the game is locked to 60 frames per second anyway. So, alright, so let's make a plan for today. Because it's been quite a while since I've played Farming Simulator 19. Let's just call it FS19. Or better even Farmulator. I think the last I did was to... Hey, scurry! The last I did was to plow this area here. And if you go and watch my YouTube video, that might also be the case. That the last thing you're going to see is me plowing down here. I think I'm going to do something. Let me just... sorry about that, but... Yeah, because I'm going to move myself... I don't think anything is going to happen up here in this corner. So I'm going to try to move myself up here. Or perhaps down here. Like that. I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to experiment a little bit on where I can place myself. And I can see that I'm in the wrong profile. But nevertheless, that's going to be okay. Alright, so... I think what we're going to do for today... Well, for starters at least... is to spread some manure, some slurry on this field here. I don't think I have spread any manure on it. I'm sorry, I can't really remember. What is fertilized 66%? It needs lime, so well, let's do that for starters. So as you can see, I don't have all the not call it mods, but all the... There is some real frame rate issues here. I can certainly see that. I'm not sure why. What's the problem with OBS? Let me just try to set the game out to a specific window and see if that makes a difference. Farmulator. Limit capture frame rate. And the cheat comes... I'm not sure about that. Let's see if this makes any difference. No, it doesn't seem it. But I don't... Let me just see. Yeah, it does say 60 frames, so it's not a problem with the frame rate at all. Alright, so let's see. We need a tractor. And we don't need this big one here, but we do need to put the plow in place. So let's take a trip in this big fella here. Let me see if I can remember all the keys. That's always interesting. Let me see. Oh, I need to put my pedals in the right position. That certainly seemed to work. There we go. So I have the class mod, the class extension, whatever you want to call it, for Farming Simulator, but I don't have any of the other. So when I park this, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to walk you through... Oh, not in there. I think I'm going to try to walk you through the map here and some of the mods that I'm using. Let's see if I can get this parked in any reasonable manner like that. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Alright, so let's get Let's see if I can remember how to turn on the... And there was the light. Still have it. Has it. Got it. Alright, so let's park this fella here. Let's turn off the light. Turn off the tractor. Alright, so let me walk you through what I have here on this map. So this is a map by Stevie. Let me just take the... I have the feeding tractor here. Let me take that and dispense of the wagon. Maybe we should go check... No, I don't have any animals yet, so... Oh. Let me see if I can remember... No, that was not the... See? No, that's the camera. I can't remember how to change the G. There it was. Let's get rid of that. Alright, so let me take you on a little trip around the farm here. This is a map called Fenton Forest by Stevie. It's an extension, if you will, of the Raven... No, not the Raven... Not Ravenport, it is the German map. Can't remember its name. So he has made his own cow pen here, cow stable, and I have some mods installed that I think will make my life a little bit easier. Let me see if I actually did something here. R. Yeah, I did. Alright, so we are going to get a... I have the extended pen, whatever it's called. Coffee. So first of all, I have seasons on this map. As you can see here, we are in early spring. So even though I've made a couple of videos, I have just recently started on this map playing it again. I have set it to the standard 9 days. All this is on, and I've made a rough schedule, a rotation plan that I'm going to try to run. And that means that first we're going to sow wheat on one field and corn on the other. Now, as you can see here, corn might be a little bit of a challenge because you only have this window here to sow it. So probably won't see that today. But other than that, we have this window here in where we can harvest it. And I'm playing on the Danish geomod. So that means that we might even not get the right temperature here. And the crops may be moist, something like that. So we can't harvest them. It's that's just the way the season works. But if you're going to have biggies, and that was my plan, we'll need the corn. But more on that later. So I've installed, because let me just show you something. In the seasons menu, if you go in here, oh, that's a new one. I've never seen. Nah, it's a new up. This because of the new update come on. Seasons. It's a new update for seasons. The seasons mod. But let me show you this. So if it hasn't changed, and I certainly hope it hasn't, the cows that I want are the Holstein. Yes, it's still the same. So in sort of the late cows, we're going to buy them in early summer. So down here we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And so I'm going to buy them just sort of around here of the late part of early summer. Yeah, I know, it's confusing. So that's the plan, to put it there. And you can see here the prices are lowest. We're also going to look for sheep, and if I'm not mistaken, the one I want is the Dorset. But nevertheless, we're going to buy them at early autumn. And then as you can see here, it's the same. The price is lowest here in early autumn. I'm not sure what these numbers out here, what they mean yet. You see we have 2 zeros, 2 ones, a 2 and a 3. I haven't figured that out yet, but nevertheless you can see where they are most expensive, where you can get most from them. And also when you can buy them the cheapest. And finally we want pigs, and for pigs I think it is the Berkshire. But nevertheless that is going to go on in late autumn, the earliest part of late autumn. So you can see this is why it's called a 9-day season. We have 9 days of, for example, spring. So this is early spring, mid-spring and late spring, and early summer, and so on, so on, so on, with all the other. All right, so that's it for seasons, seasons. And for the pen extension, animal pen extension, we can get this plumbing system here where you do pay for the water, but you can get it right here at the pen. So as if any of you have ever played on Stevie's map, you will definitely know that there are some, he always makes some custom stuff to his map, and he has also made this custom silo system here, and one of the brilliant things is that you put the stuff, the commodities in here. Let me see if I can get under. Yes, you can get the stuff and the commodities out here. But, and this is the brilliant part if you ask me, if you need something else, you can go on the other side. Where the tractor is parked right now, here you can buy all kinds of different stuff. So for example, if we need grass, you can buy it here. If we need corn, anything you need, basically, with few exceptions, you can buy from this hose here. Alright, so here is the cow pen. Let's move on. Let me just get it from the side, because then you can see what I want to show you. So the next two parts you're going to, this is just like sightseeing. And if you look to your right, you'll see. So you can't see what it says, unfortunately. So let me just go out and show you. Here we can buy herbicide. Both liquid. No, it's only comes as liquid. But we can buy herbicide here. The next one down here, we can buy manure, slurry and digestate. And that's actually pretty nice, because then you can buy this for very little money. It's quite cheap, and you can spread it on your fields. Let's go on. It's going to, the time is set to 5 times. So let me just go down and show you what we have down here. Now, those of you who placed, let's see if I can remember what key it is. Open product menu. Yeah. So I also have the company. Oh, I'm not sure. I can't remember the name. Something company mod here, which means that you can. I have this hay dryer here. It's basically sort of in the building of it. It is a hayloft with a warming aggregate sitting here on the side. So you put in wood chips here, then you put in hay over here, oh sorry, grass over here, and then you get hay on the other side over here. Let's move on. I think I'm going to go back to the house now and sleep, and then I will see you early in the next morning. Because given that it is still early spring, it's still going to be very dark here, quite early. So when we get into the summer, we'll get more longer days. And that's one of the beauties of seasons, if you ask me, that you actually get that. So you get shorter winters and longer summers. That's quite neat, if you ask me. And then I might also introduce you to some of the equipment, but I think we're going to take that as we go along. There we go. Let's go in and get some sleep. So now it's 19. That says 11 hours of sleep. 12 hours of sleep. So let's get that. 12 hours. Sleep. And we have some property income and some loan interest and all that. Yes. So now it's 7 o'clock. Now we make a now we get a huge lag. It goes all the way down because it has to make some changes and stuff. And so I haven't figured out yet whether this is a thing with Farming Simulator or it's a thing with my computer. So let me introduce you to the rest of the farm as we go. And then let's get some farm work done. So I have some this is a silage maker, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, fermenting silo. So you put in bulk materials, whatever you can put in, chaff or grass, and then in the other end you get silage. So it's basically instead of the clam silo. I'll just turn this off because we don't need it for looking around. Alright, so here we have the tractors, the harvester. Here we have some more equipment. Here we have one of the other things I find to be extraordinarily brilliant, and for some reason it should be a nevertheless, doesn't matter. So you can turn it off or turn it on. It does. Let me see, like that. Yeah, there it is. So it was. It's also one of the global company mods. But nevertheless, we put in dry grass. That is hay, actually. You put in silage, and you put in straw, and then you get total mixed ration. And so this is, in my opinion, let me just turn it off again, one of the most needed mods in this game. And let us just continue while I tell you why. So Stevie has also put in one of sort of a loading saving thingy, whatever it is, for manure and slurry and all that. So it's pretty neat. And here we had a chicken pen over here. Let me just get back. We had over here, somewhere here, I think it was. No, here, over here. Here we had a horse pen. But I'm not going to do horses in this playthrough here, so it doesn't really matter, right? So let me just see. Here we have some water. So you can choose to get water from here, and it's actually pretty neat because it's not that deep. So you can get your tractor through it. Over here we have the ship pen. Again, one of Stevie's little wonders. We have a... not sure why it's standing there, but nevertheless, this is for sheeps. And I'm going to go for, as you can see, he's still building on it, so it's not quite done yet. I'm going to go for sheeps with wool sheep. So I'm not going to breed them to sell. I'm going to breed them to get wool for them. And finally, we have the piggy pen here. So what's that? Oh, it's a shadow from this. How nice. Alright, so this is basically the farm. We might go on up. Oh yes, I forgot one thing. Very important. Here we have the greenhouses. And we have one for pumpkin and one for melons, I think it is. I'm not sure. But the most important thing is that if you want to, you can buy some more. They need to get manure, and they need to get water, and then they will give us money. How nice is that? But let's get going with the farm work. First we're going to find a suitable tractor, and to spread lime we don't need the big monster here, the Sirion 5000. And this tractor really has a cool thing. It can swivel the house here, the cockpit around, so you can actually go in this direction instead. And the idea is that you actually can put some stuff on top here that you can then spread around, and that is the reason why you can move it around like that. But we're going to take the little smaller Action 960 and do some work. So first we're going to spread some lime. And just back all the way up there. And if I'm not mistaken, the lime spreader should be filled with lime. I have also a couple of other mods installed. Let me just show you to them. I initially had the horse helper mod installed. Let's see, I think it's to engage it. It's what, Alt C? No, Control C? Nope. Toggle cruise control. No. Control S. All this. No, that's seasons. What is it? It's not Control E. All this? No, Alt C. Yeah, now it's engaged. There it was. Alright. So, and there's nothing in it. So let me just show you how we can fill it up nice and easy. First we open it up, and then we drive all the way under the little spout here. Stop, press R, and we want lime. Thank you very much. Let's do that. So I have the cosplay mod installed. I haven't updated them for a while. Perhaps I should do that. And I have also the as you can see, the guidance steering mod installed here. You can see that just as easily. Let me see, is it this button here? This button? No. Yeah, now I know. Alright, so let me see, like that. And now my camera went out for some reason. 2 seconds. Oh, that was. Just needed to reconnect for some reason. So let's spread some lime. So the thing is with this guidance steering mod, it's basically the same as the GPS mod for Farming Simulator 17. The only difference is that you need to engage it in a little bit different way. So first we drive like this. And then we enable a little test run. Then we engage it. And then we press Alt R to align it with the tool that we're using. Align like that. So that the yellow lines follow the borders of your field. And then we just go all the way back. I just need to see where I started. Is it this button here? Yeah, that was. Alright. So let's get some farming done. Oh, too far. There we go. Let me just get it lined up. There we go. Nice and quiet. And let me see. Usually I have, I can see my steering wheel. Let me just see if I can remember what key I engage the, not that. Not that. This one, no. Come on, this one. Yeah, that was. Alright, so let's get going. And the thing is that now I can actually choose to just let it go its run. I have one mod installed also. Let me just show you. As you can see. I think it's 600 is suitable, maybe 1300. $2,000. Yeah. Maybe 3. Let me see. What's the top? 3,000. That's okay. All right. We can also do something else. Let me just show you. So I'm going to I'm going not to get my calculator, as it seems, because I really don't know where it is. Nevertheless, you can calculate how big your field is and then calculate how much you should spread compared to how much. I'm just going to go with it as we have it. And then perhaps for the next stream I will do that. But my idea, what I'm trying to say is that you can engage the, you can try to calculate how much lime. Basically what I'm trying to say is that I want to calculate how much lime is going to be spent on my field. So that the amount I have in this trailer right now is going to be enough for the entire field. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but that's just the way it is. And there was that little spread I put out a couple of seconds ago, just to check if I had the correct amount of sorry, the correct button. But this is basically what we're going to do. First we're going to spread some lime, and then we're going to plant some wheat. I was actually considering planting grass here, but we do have a field in another place where we can get, not a real field, but an area where we can get some grass. So there we go, and start it once more. Now there are some things that when you drive with this mod here, the guidance steering mod, you can turn it off like this and then control it manually from within your cockpit. But the thing is that I like to see it from the outside, and out here it's pretty hard to see actually where you are. Why am I not recording? Oh well. So this is basically how it's going to go. Let's see, stop. And Oh, I know why I'm not recording. 2 seconds. There we are. The problem was that I have set a recording timer that I used earlier on, and it was set to 10 minutes, so I just didn't notice that it stopped recording. It's not so good. But this is the first time I'm going to do double or doing this restreaming. So I suppose some teething problems are okay, and also teething problems as it appears with the recording. And I know I said earlier that I was not as fond of doing live streaming with a webcam, and I still am not, but people keep telling me that it's a good idea, that people can see you and relate to you and all that jazz. And I suppose that's true. But oh no. Yeah. Let me just get this done. This row here. There's a problem, and that is whenever you go out of Farming Simulator, for some reason my steering wheel it won't engage properly. It what do you want to call it? Yeah. It seems that it reverts to some way where it only has 3 settings, so you can go straight and then you can turn all the way. Let me just show you when we get to the end over here. Let me show you how it looks inside. So I'm going to slowly turn my steering wheel, and then you can see how it is. It's completely annoying. So that means I have to restart the game, unfortunately. But I don't have to restart the stream, fortunately, as well. Alright, let me just show you. Now we ain't it. Alright, so now I'm going forward. Now I'm... Oh, it's the... There we go. Let me just show you. If I turn it a little bit, look at the steering wheel. Now it turns, you see? And if I go back, it only has 3 settings, and that's completely annoying. So unfortunately, I have to say save game, and then I unfortunately have to put you on pause screen again. But I will be right back with the game, and we're going to start off right where we started. And I can get a cup of coffee. Alright, so let's restart the game. Fortunately, when you have started when you have started FS19, you are not in need of... it doesn't take that much time to start it up once again, so that's a good thing. Alright, so... here we go. Well, you can't see it, but I can. So now you can hear it. And we were in this one. Start. Let me just get you back into the game screen, like that. Here we are. Yay! Now it should be a little bit quicker for us to actually get into the map. I'm just... yeah. At least I hope so. Or maybe not. Alright. So, oh, there we are. Yes. Now I have to remember that I don't want to alt tab out of the... and that's why I've set up some... there it is. Yeah, I know it needs line. That's why I've set up some shortcut keys. Shortcut keys. For my... for OBS, so that I can shift between screens and all that. And also start and stop streaming and start and stop recording and pause recording and on-pause recording and all that. You know, all these things that you need to do, I have set those up. Alrighty, alrighty. He's a pretty fast runner, this guy, and he can jump. Alright, so now we need to set up that again, unfortunately. But it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit annoying, that's all. Let's do it here. Like that. And let's... like that. And let's move it there. Let's go back. Now we get some white tires. And I can see we also need a redecoration. I was almost saying, but not a redecoration. We need a refill. There we go. And let's just press the wrong button. Happens. It actually happens too often in this game when you haven't played it for quite some time. Alright, so there we go. And spread lime all over the place. And drink some coffee. Coffee is generally what keeps me going all the time, almost. I'm a dad, so I'm a home dad, so I don't get that much sleep. The nights I spend almost sometimes on streaming, and I get up too early in the morning to send my kids away, and yeah, it's a mess. But I like it anyway. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really wouldn't. I love my kids. So let me spend a little bit of time trying to sort of sort out my personal life situation as it is right now. Those of you who follow me, enough to have watched the videos that I put out on YouTube, also the streaming videos that I put out here on YouTube, you will know that I have a son with autism. So it's in Denmark, we call it infantile autism. It has nothing to do with being infantile or underdeveloped. So let me just spend a little bit of time trying to correct a common mistake by many people. The most common mistake about these diagnoses here is that people usually tend to think that a diagnosis like, at least here in Denmark, I don't know. I know in US you use a different system, so it might be, yeah. But in Denmark we still have those atypical autism and infantile autism and all that. What infantile autism means and what it only means is when it relates to when it is estimated that the first symptoms were apparent. So if the first symptoms of autism seem to be apparent before the age of 3, and also as the age of 3 and downwards, then you get the diagnosis infantile autism. Otherwise you'll get a different diagnosis, atypical, something like that. So, and that is the only relation it has to do with. So that is also why we are here in Denmark, and also with the new ICD, I think it's 11 or 12. I'm not a doctor, so I don't use them that often. That is why here in Denmark we are really considering, in the EU also, considering going away from these diagnoses here, because they are quite misleading. So yes, I have a son with autism, and I have a daughter, probably not with autism. Honestly don't know yet. She has definitely some autistic traits. Oh, then we need to refill. But there are also parts of her that are definitely not seemingly autistic. So it's a touch and go on that. We honestly don't know. So why am I telling you this? Well, this is one of the reasons. If you look at my Twitch channel and you see what I put out there I have a little announcement or message board out there. I tend to say something like, today I have to cancel my stream, today I have to postpone my stream, and all that. And that relates to two major things or issues, if you will, regarding my family situation. First of all, still, I am at home with the children, so I don't have a daytime job yet, hopefully. I have applied some, but I haven't gotten any answers yet. The other... Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I know. Come on, do it. The other major issue is that I have this kid, my son. And so it's a combination of the fact that my wife works a lot. She's a medical doctor, and she's taking, I'm not sure if you call it a education, but it is, she's working to become a general practitioner doctor. And that means that she has to do some work in, sorry, I just lost track of my words. In a hospital, and she has to do some work in general practices. And so the work in general practices are just like a relatively like a normal day work. So you have some hours where you work, usually in the morning and in the afternoon, and then you have the rest of the day off, and you also have the weekends off. The hospital part is very different. Here you definitely have some work where you do it in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, and the night. You have a night shift where you work almost 24 hours. So it's roughly 12 hours, maybe a little bit more. So we have very long shifts, and they are not consistent. They are redone, planned every third or every second month or something like that. Perhaps even every month, I can't remember. So, oh, wrong button. So yeah. And I want to say, let me just park the tractor right here. I really want to be consistent with my streaming, because the only way to get viewers that are consistent with me is that I am consistent with you. It makes perfect sense to me. But at the moment, it is unfortunately just not really doable for me. So I am sort of in a schedule that says, when I can, I can. And the major sort of indicator of when I can stream and when I cannot stream is when my wife is at work, honestly. So it sometimes means that I have to do some streaming in the daytime. It also means that I sometimes have to do some streaming in the nighttime, but I can't sort of just stick to one schedule and then be at that. So well, we have 66. Let me just go to the map and check. Let me see. Mesh footer staying blah blah blah. Let me see. Growth cultivated. It is plowed, so that's a good thing. So fertilized. This also needs lime. Okay, so this is almost fertilized. Let me just take the. Yeah, they are at the same stage, so I can't really remember. I probably did slurry spreading on both of them. So unfortunately, you won't see me spread slurry. Maybe I should do it anyway. Then we have a full house on both fields, I think. Let me just... Yeah, they were also both at the same stage. Oh, that was not a lime spreader. Let's see... No, wrong button still. I'm just doing... I'm not entirely sure that my son is sleeping yet, so if you see me sort of move my head around, it is simply because I want to see whether he's still... I hope he's asleep. He has to be. Otherwise daddy will be mad. Disappointed. Alright, so the same goes here. We I hope you can remember that yeah, it can. Come on, let me just get it aligned and expand it. There we go. And let's spread some lime. Alright. And then when we are done with this field here, I am most definitely going to get me a refill of my coffee. Oh yes, I will. And I'm not really sure I'm very fond of this webcam thingy still. You can see me, and I hope that you can like what you see. I'm not that pretty, so it's... So now I have hands-free, just like real farmers. With all these equipment things that farmers have, I must say I'm actually not sure what they actually do in the track. I know that they plan out the tracks and they do all kind of different stuff, of course, to make sure that the tractor doesn't just wander around or go anywhere it shouldn't go. But honestly, yeah. All right, so let's go over here. Oh, wrong button. As you can see, it's been quite a while since I've played this game. Oh, come on. Right. Now, one of the reasons I have this mod installed, I'm not sure what it's called, spray rate, something like that, is basically mostly because I want to, let me just show you if I stop the tractor. Even though it's running, I know it's completely unrealistic, but I guess they couldn't add the graphics as well. But generally, when you stop the tractor, the lime spreader or whatever you have, slurry spreader, seeder, whatever it is, it will stop spreading. And that seems to me to be, well, reasonably okay. Well, reasonably okay, reasonable, to be honest. So yeah, I have to. My glasses are pretty loose, so I have to put them up all the time. It's pretty annoying. All right, so this is going to take a little while, but it's what I like about this game. It is so relaxing. There we are. Still doing 60, so it's good. And there also seems to be no real issues with drop frames. That is also good. So, I have an acquaintance. Hi. Thank you for following Night Vulture TV. That's quite a name. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. For some reason, you... well, it's probably Restream that is pulling my leg, but you're not actually here. It says 0 viewers, so I might have 50 viewers right now and just been sitting here talking with myself. Well, it's nice to... Sorry, it's too late. I'm not very funny at all. It's nice that you're here. So are you... I know that you're a newcomer for my channel, because otherwise it wouldn't say that you begun to follow me. But are you also a newcomer to Farming Simulator, or are you, I don't know, like we say here in Denmark, are you an old rat in the game? I'm sorry, it's a horrible pronunciation. Sorry, translation. I hope you get what it means. Well, maybe you are from Denmark, and then you certainly know what it means. It means, are you a seasoned Farming Simulator player, FS19 player? Yeah, I know you am. You're writing here. It would be really strange if you weren't watching, but yeah, no. Sorry. I'm kind of new. Okay. So, new to Farming Simulator. So, how new is that? Where did you start? Did you start with 19 or 17? Because I'm also relatively new. I started with 17 and I've played it for quite some hours, but well, since they... Okay, 19. But since they put in the... what was it called? The global company. One of the things that I really liked about 17 was the fabric script mod, which basically basically meant that you could transform just about any commodity into another, even those that didn't make any sense. So, for instance, you could take water and you could transform it into hay or something completely stupid. But you could also, of course, change it into something that makes sense. And when I started with 19, it was okay, but it was a bit something was missing in it. When you come from 17 and you have this vast box of mods, you can choose just about anything you want, and then you start with 19 and you basically have none. Then it feels like you got sort of a scraped version of a game, like the basic version. But now that they have put in the what is called a global company mod, which is in essence the same as we had from 17. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Let me just check. Well, I'm not sure my network can handle it, but let me see. Because this isn't a multiplayer session, so let me just... Oh, it's been so long since I've tried anything of these sorts. I think I need to start a new session, so... let me see... Yeah. I'll tell you this. Yeah. I'll try to remember that. I can't Alt-tab after... blah. Sorry if I put in some Danish words here, because, yeah. I can't Alt-tab out of the game right now, because if I do... I have a steering wheel, right? I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I have a steering wheel. And I haven't really... I have a controller also, an old controller, but I haven't gotten really used to using it in Farming Simulator. I just can't. I drive like a maniac when I do it. Even worse when I use the keyboard. But I have a steering wheel. And the only problem is usually when I Alt-tab out of the game, it reverts my steering wheel to having 3 controller settings. So I can either go... Oh, I can either go all the way left, just like the keyboard. It simply reverts my steering wheel to a keyboard. So that's why I can't Alt-tab out. But I'll tell you this, since you are following me, this means that you'll get notifications. And also, if you go into my on my Twitch page, I have a calendar there. And then I will certainly love to make a multiplayer session where we can play this game together. I need to find the end key. On 2 sort of 2 conditions. But obviously that you don't trash the... I know that you can drive just about any tractor I have in the game into a lake, and I can just reset them and get them back. But it's annoying when people do that. Also, when they do it first time, it's funny, but when they do it the 20th time, it becomes a little ridiculous. The other condition, which is, well, is the important one, right, is that my computer can handle it. Because, no, I'm sure you don't. But I just want to put it out there. And it's also sort of a, you know, it's like what do you call it, basic good behavior. Everybody knows that. But the more important thing is whether my computer can handle it. I know I do have, if I have to say so myself, a pretty okay computer, but I haven't tried yet to host a game, stream, record, and play Farming Simulator at the same time. But to make a very... Try again. To make a, at this moment, very, very long story short. Yes, I would love to play with you. And I will make it a point in the calendar when I will make sort of a multiplayer session. Because I have to planned that. I have to put it in the game. And I didn't plan on it now. So, but definitely. And at some point I might even, if I can scrape enough people together that it's, no, not that. But I did get it to stop. That it's doable. I might even invest in a dedicated server at some point. But that's sort of a quite far into the future. All right. But the plan for tonight, at least for me tonight, is to get these fields here lined, and then I want to yeah. I have 3 followers, and I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but I have 3 followers and that many subs. So, but honestly, I've been streaming for, I would actually say that I'm doing pretty well. I've been streaming for a little over a week or 2, and I already have 3 followers. I actually find that to be pretty cool. So, I stream on YouTube. Well, now I try to I've used this Restream IO thingy so that sorry, I tend to lose track of what I'm going to say. So that I stream both on, I should at least stream both on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I can do that since I don't have a partnership deal or affiliate deal or whatever YouTube calls it with either of them. So I can sort of, I'm free to do what I want until I get into one of their baskets and sign up some kind of affiliate or partnership. It's way out in the future, but some point I hope it's doable. So yeah. But now that you are here and I don't have anyone, sorry, I don't have anyone else to. That was definitely not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that now that you're here and I don't have to talk with myself, which is very nice, I must admit. What other games do you play? If you want to know what I'm into, well, you can check my Twitch page, and then that's sort of the deal. I have a long list of games that I do. I'm not so much into FPS game, first-person shooters. I'm more into simulator, farming simulator, train simulator, truck simulator, simulator, whatever you want. And also, of course, my newly found love for Star Citizen. So I have spent quite some time on streaming Star Citizen, but I wanted to go back to some of the other games that I have. I have a bunch of games. I think it would be a waste if I didn't use them as well. But what do you play other than FS19? And Minecraft. Okay. And that's it. I must say I have more than 2 games to play. Yeah, I have games that I don't play, but I have more than 2 games. The Long Dark, I didn't say that. It's sort of a first-person shooter. Not really, but more first-person shooter than the others. Yeah, Minecraft is also a classic. Do you use any mods for Minecraft? I don't use that many mods. I'm more into sort of the appearance. So I have Optifine, and I think it's called the Zeus shader, and so also I have the I use the Full of Life texture pack, and that's it. I have I think on Twitch. Yeah, it's on Twitch. I have those. Okay, yeah. I don't play Fortnite. I must admit I don't get it. Maybe I'm too old. I'm not sure. The Windows 10 edition of Minecraft. Okay. But does that mean that you don't have the ordinary launcher? I haven't never used the Windows 10 edition. I've always used the Java edition of Minecraft, so I don't know what you get and what you don't get on that platform. But yeah, Fortnite I don't play. I must admit, sorry to say, but I find it too cartoony looking. It's sort of like too bright pastel colors, something like that. There's something about the colors, and I must admit I have the same sort of I wouldn't call it issue, but yeah, I guess it sort of is an issue with a game like Overwatch that my son really likes. He plays it a lot on his Switch. Rainbow Six, I don't really know it. It sounds like sort of a Call of Duty-like game, something like that. I've played. I have a big box that my wife gave me of. Yeah, I think it's. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because I don't know it. I think that's the best way to say it. And I haven't engaged in it. Well, mainly because I don't want to play it, and also because my son really don't play it. I've played a little bit of Overwatch, and it's okay. It's just like no. I'm afraid I'm a bit more old school. If you gave me something like a Quake 3 Arena or something like that, then I'm on. But not Fortnite. Sorry. Yeah, Rainbow Six sounds like a Overwatch. Yeah. I'm sort of the age where I don't know how old you are, but I can tell you how old I am. I was born in the excellent year of 1982. So now you can sort of calculate back on how old I am. I'm old. So I'm from the age of Doom 2, Doom 1, what was it called? Duke Nukem 3D, and also I can't remember the name of that game, but it was also sort of a first-person shooter game. Yeah, I can imagine that. So yeah. That's what that's sort of the. I have a Doom. I had to look. Doom 3. I haven't gotten it installed yet. I'm also from the Diablo 2. That's also some of the games that I play. Also Diablo 3. But I haven't played it in a time quite some time now. And of course, the almighty big. Bunch of Command and Conquer games, especially the older ones. You're 12. Okay. Then I can humor you with the fact that you are just about. I had to find the end key. You're just about 4 years older than my son. He's 8. So that might, to some extent, explain why you have sort of the roughly the same interest in games. Yeah. But it's not a problem. If you find it hilarious to watch an old geezer like me crash a tractor now and then be my guest. A follower is a follower. So but I think it's interesting that I can tell you this. The only fun, and the reason why I did that, well, the only fun my son has of Farming Simulator, at least as it is now, is to drive stuff into lakes. That's sort of this basic fun. Yeah. So I'm a bit surprised that, well, I didn't know your age before, of course. But now that I know it, I'm a bit surprised that you're into Farming Simulator, FS19. Yeah. Let's see. Next. Alright, so let me hear, what mods do you have for FS19 at the moment? Let me see if we can plant some. Let's go for some wheat. Ah. But if you liked fast cars, then you might enjoy when at some point in the future, I'm not really sure, I'm going to stream some R-Factor 2. It's basically, if you don't know it, a game made for fast cars. It's a racing game. And as some might call it, more like a racing sim, actually. Let's get some seeds. And some fertilizer. There we go. Yeah, I know it's a thing that people that play Farming Simulator online, they tend to do, because you have to. It's the fast. Okay. Well, you. Yeah. Okay. Well, you can certainly. Let's see. And there we go. Yeah, and that's I think that's quite a. No, I didn't want to invert it. I just want to. There we go. That's a funny thing because I know what NASCAR is. I actually had a NASCAR computer game, very old, from the 90s, 1990s. But most Europeans know what NASCAR is, but that's it. I actually find that to be a pretty sort of interesting thing. That just get it all set. Europeans, we have Formula 1 and we have the GTE, and well, we have some smaller leagues for similar cars, GT3, GT2 and all that, and that's basically it. And then we have some rally and some dirt track courses. I'm not sure what they are actually sort of defined as. But we do have them. Oh, I think that forgot to. Yeah. Something like that. But I must say that I'm not a race driver, so I can't tell you sort of what is the most accurate racing simulator. But I can tell you what I do know, and that is that the company that was behind R-Factor before, and R-Factor 2, they made a similar, it's basically the same engine, which they called R Factor Pro, and that engine is used in many of the simulators that real race drivers use to train them in driving. I know that one guy called Tommy something, he drives in the I think you still call it the American Le Mans. I'm not sure what it's called now. It's something. Oh, my Discord link doesn't work. Oh, I need to check it, see why it doesn't work. Sorry about that. I'll do that when I'm finished streaming. Again, the problem with alt tabbing out. Yeah. So I know, I'm not sure, I can't remember his name. I'm pretty sure that league has changed its name now, so it's not American Le Mans anymore. That's the name I know it by. And sort of that's the only commonality that really is between European race genres and the Americans. But then you have the NASCAR, the oval track race. And that is something you really don't see here in Denmark. And the same to some extent goes with IndyCar, but IndyCars also drive on normal road tracks. But the oval tracks, we don't have that much here in Europe. We have more road and of course rally, which is basically road there isn't there. But nevertheless, what I was trying to say is that there are some options for you if you want to sort of get a basic grasp on what it feels like to drive a race car. Now, of course, the feeling that you get in a real race car, whether it's an GTE or NASCAR or IndyCar, whatever it is, it of course it cannot compare in any way to sitting in a real car. But as far as I feel it, at least in R Factor 2, is that if you have I have the Logitech driving force steering wheel, so it's not fancy equipment in any way. You can get steering wheels to cost a lot more, but the feeling that you get from the force feedback profile that they have put into R Factor 2, I think it's phenomenal. And the only thing I can sort of really compare it with is oh, what's its name now? Sorry, forgot. A thing about being old. It's one of the other big race simulators. It's just an online way to subscribe to it. But I must say that, in my opinion, the closest you get to that feeling is definitely in R Factor 2, and I think, I'm not sure, I can check it out. I do know that I have some oval tracks, and I'm not sure I also have the NASCAR cars. Oh, wrong button. If there's time and you're still here, we can take a peek at it and see whether I have it. I usually drive the GT cars, so GT3, 2, GTE, and also the prototypes. Basically the ones you have from the World Championship in GT cars. And what else do I have? I also play some of the older 60s Formula cars, and those are pretty cool as well. Just imagine it, if you sort of think about But I guess you do this. You probably do the same in NASCAR. I'm not sure. Do you play with? Play. Do you know if the racers drive with stick shift in NASCAR? Alright, I'm not sure as well, but I do know that the old races, the old Formula 1 and Formula 2 races from the, I'm not sure when they shifted, but I think it's a great deal of time up into perhaps the 70s or something like that, perhaps even the 80s. The time where Ayrton Senna, for example, was a great name. Those Formula 1 cars drove with stick shift. I can just imagine going 300 something down the road and then have to stick shift. Today you have these contact shifts or quick shift on the steering wheel, so you can quickly shift through the gears and you don't need to let go of the steering wheel. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they did that, mostly because, and this is something I know about cars, most cars today have what is called a synchro mesh ring in the gearing. That basically means that when you press the coupling, yeah, I'm not sure what it's called, out, and then you put it in neutral, then that synchro mesh ring will automatically make the two gears align to each other. If you didn't do that, you'll need to make something called a double shift. That means that you press the coupling once, take it out of gear, leave it in neutral, press the coupling again, and then put it in gear. And also, and that's one of the things I find to be really cool, is that the old, when they had to shift up, is pretty easy in such a cars. Well, easy is a big word, right, when you're going that fast, but the difficulty was to shift down, because there you had to do something I've heard described as heel to toe. That means that you put the heel of your foot, on your right foot, on the brake and the speeder, and as you shift down while holding the brake, you give it a little throttle in order to spin the coupling around so that the gears can align properly. If you didn't do that, then your wheels would instantly lock, because the part with the engine is standing still or going very slow, and the part with the gears going quite fast. So I've tried that. I don't have a coupling pedal. A stick shift Corvette. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, maybe I pressed too many wrong buttons here. What model is it? Oh, R5, R6, maybe even an R7. I think the newest is Stingray. Oh, so that's an older one, if I'm not mistaken. 60s, no, 70s perhaps, I think it is. Do they still make? I'm not. As you can see, I am really not that in. I don't know that much about American cars, honestly. I know, well, what I know is basically from the American Le Mans, so that's why I know the R7 and the R6 and all that, the R7 and the R5, and also the Camaro. But other than that, I'm completely blank. And it's funny because some of the people I follow here on Twitch and also on YouTube, they are, mostly of them are from America, where you're from, the US, and they talk a lot about the big SUVs and pickup trucks and all that, how they got a Hemi engine and whatever it's called. And I'm just sitting there being completely oblivious to what they're talking about. I know engines, but the specifics on what is sitting in an SUV or a big pickup truck or whatever it is, I'm honestly. And also because I think that the people here in Denmark who has one of those big cars, well, I think you can count them on at least two hands. There are not that many. So yeah, that's cool. And there you see it. The only Stingray I know of the Corvette is one of the very old ones, classics. So yeah, that's nice. To compare it, here we have an Opel. I think if you were from Britain, you would call it a Vauxhall. I'm definitely not sure what you would call it in the US, if you even have that brand, but either it's Opel or Vauxhall. Astra, station car. It's a mini beast of a 4-cylinder with a 1.6 turbocharged engine. So I'm pretty sure that if we took your dad's Stingray and put them side to side, then I would probably see the hindtails of that Stingray a good deal of time. So yeah. But we can drive long on the liter, long on the gallon, so and that is honestly what matters here, because, well, if you drive around on the German highways, some of the German highways where there are essentially no real speed limit, then a Porsche 911 or a Corvette Stingray might come to its place. But here in Denmark, the only name which car will win in a race, if you're correct, I will donate Corvette or Lamborghini. Well, that depends on the race. Straight. So a half-mile run, quarter-mile, what's it called? Can't say. Okay. I think the standard for off limits, what do you call, off the book races, it's a quarter mile. But it's not a number that we usually use in Denmark because we use kilometers. So, but go ahead. See if I can. You don't have to donate anything. I think the competition of of trying to guess or predict this in itself is funny enough. But go right ahead. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now you also get a pretty good idea why I usually don't win anything in R Factor 2. You know what? I think that when we have seeded the this field here, and that's almost done, and I'm pretty sure we can get by with the fertilizer we have, then I'm going to put up my fabulous pause screen, get myself a cup of coffee, hopefully you're still here, and then I'm going to fire up a little bit of R Citizen. R Factor 2. Just so you can get a glimpse of what it is. And then we can also see if I have these NASCAR cars. But I must say I do know that I have Indy cars and I love those. They are so fast. So maybe I should fire those up instead. Yeah, don't worry about that. I have to go soon as well. So let's just take this back, and that's one of the really cooler things I think about some of the American race series, the IndyCar. It is here in Europe we have the idea is sort of to try to make a race car that is reasonable fast, but still has restrictions on it. And I do know that there are restrictions on the Indy cars as well, but they have huge engines. I think it's 12 cylinder or something like that, and turbocharged, and it's a beast. And then when you go on those big oval tracks, I think it's the Indianapolis. It's so fast. Alright. There we are. The end of Farming Simulator for today. So the next time I'll play Farming Simulator, I'll probably have sped up the time so that we can plant these... the idea is to plant corn. So as you can see, I have the Seasons mod installed. So I want to plant corn because eventually we'll have cows, we'll have sheep, and we'll have pigs. So the cows and sheep can do with grass for the most part. It's a little perk of Seasons. But the pigs, they need to have corn in their food. All right, so let me just yeah, come on, save, autosave, blah 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 blah. Come on. There we are. Just to be sure I save it nevertheless. Let me see. This should be it. Boing. So, yeah. There we have it. Now you can see some really lovely screenshots from Star Citizen. I'm not sure if you know that game, but I'm pretty sure that when you see it like this, you know why I really like it. If you really hate space games, then you don't. You just think that I'm a silly man. So, alright, let's see if I can... 2 seconds, I'll just go and grab myself a cup of coffee. Alright, so I'm back. There we go. Just had to plug in the... So for some reason, there are some little issues with the power on my steering wheel when I'm playing Farming Simulator. There's no real support for force feedback in Farming Simulator, so it's just the basic force feedback that you have. So I tend to plug out, take the power of my steering wheel out when I play Star Citizen. And then I put it in again when I play, well, just about anything else. Here we are. Let me just see if I can... Oh yeah, that's right. Need to change the window back. And there we are. Alright, so let's see what we have. It seems that they have changed. Oh, that's this series, yeah. Alright, so we can... let's just go in here and see. So this is the Indy cars. So we have some Indy Roadsters, if you want to do that. The old Indy cars. Let me see if I had those... No, that's something else. No, skip over Spark. There, stock cars. I think this is sort of the closest I think I can get to. No, it's a stock car, it's not NASCAR, but that's the closest you can get to stuff the NASCAR area. But I think that this Dallara, let's just take this one, and the track, we're going to go for the oval, Indianapolis. So let's see, 3, 5, let's see, laps. No, not 500. I think we're going to go for, yeah, let's just go for 500. We're going to stop it anyway sooner. 3 p.m. seems to be okay. Default, grid position, random, normal, air drivers. Yeah, seems to be okay. And I'm just, for the heck of it, I'm going to go straight to the race. Alright, so I'm going to move my webcam. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Move my webcam down in the corner. Like that. That should give you the best possible. You know what? Just going to go do this. Then you can get the full view of the racetrack, and especially how I'm going to drive into the wall or something lovely. Now, R-Factor 2 does model vehicle damage, so I have disabled that, because I tend to find that the opponents have sort of a tendency to drive straight into you, just completely insanely. Let's just go full 70 liters, and go to standings and go to next, and go to next, and restart race. Restart weekend, sorry. So this is the qualification. This should be... This should be the race. There we go. And I am, of course, standing in the bottom. All right. It's very loud. Sometimes some problems with the formation lab here, but let's see how it goes. And yes, I don't have it at miles per hour, I have it at kilometers per hour. See how I do when we get the green flag. This isn't fun. Let me just go out. There are some issues still with the way they have set this up. I'm just standing. If I'm not mistaken, standing is where you just start. Well, if I'm standing, so you just have to set it into gear and press the speed all the way down. And then we're going to see whether I can overtake any one of them. Probably not, because I'm really not good at these cars. I'm a little bit better at the older ones, but yeah. Oh, maybe I should just use the opportunity to turn the audio slightly down. It's not as loud. So let's do it again. Next session. Next session. And race.
Outside. All clear. Inside.
Thank you for hitting me. And this is why I turned the damage off.
The lap was a 1:17. was a 41.00. Was a 41.03. Was a 41.18.
All right. So let me just for the last part here show you one of those that I like a little bit more. So let me see. It's the thing is that the people that made R Factor didn't have the license to actually get the I think it was the Belgic. No, it's not the Belgic. I can't remember Brianza, but this road here, they didn't have the license to use its actual name, so that is why it's called Brianza instead of its original name. Let me see if I can find the old. It's not Houston, is it? Group 4? No. These are the Le Mans sort of like cars. Let me see. Eve, I think it's Eve. Yeah. So we have Formula 1 from 1968. And again, let's just take a standing and finish criteria. Let's say lap and time. And let's just take, I think 10 minutes is okay. 10 minutes, 3 p.m, time, random, null, preset, heavy, let's just set to natural, progressing, real road and all that is okay. AI strength is at 100%, so if I don't, and let's just go straight to race. Even though I will start at the back once more. But the cool thing about this track is that, as you can see here on the image, it has this really slanted oval. And when you're driving these old cars, you could also see it when I drove the IndyCar. But on these tracks here, everything is shaking when you're driving. It's really, really. and you can feel it in the steering wheel if you just hit something slight small. It's really cool. All right, so we are ready to... I'm just going to the garage and set it to full. All the fuel I can put into it. It will make me a little bit heavier, but it will also... Let me just get one. Probably don't need it, but let's just set one. And all of that, you can set a lot of different things in here. It's really realistic, but I don't want to do that yet. Oh, now. Maybe I should try that again. They are really hard to start, those cars here. Whoa. It's been a while since I've driven this. I think I want to exit to monitor. Oh, I can't set that. Listen to that. It's so loud. Alright, let me just go standing. So restart. Alright, so I'll try my best. That was a little bit better. That much in front of me? Come on. I am really not being a good example here. Oh my god. Oh, how in the world did I get in here? Huh. Need to brake earlier. I don't remember them as this finicky. Whoa! Let me try some of the... Just try the F3 cars. They're a bit slower. And they don't have hex spoilers and all that jazz. It's been a while since I think they have gone through the several updates of this game since I last played, actually, but I don't remember them as this touchy. Yeah, I know. Welcome to the stream, Rusty Walker. Maybe I'm a little better in some slower cars. Well, let's see. And of course I haven't warmed them up or anything like that. They certainly are slower. Stay back there. Just wait till we get on the oval. It's so cool. Don't hit me. To lock tires with you. That's more like it.
The lap was a 3:20.70.
Thank you. mistake from my part. But what do you know, if you don't take chances, then you'll never win. Or you probably will always win. If I can catch up and drink coffee at the same time. Nope, definitely not the last part.
That lap was a 3:21.58.
Oh, there was an accident somewhere. We had a yellow flag, now we don't. Surely making my way up to catch up. And then make a stupid mistake and get all the way back again. And we have 1 minute left.
That was a 3:07.20.
So the next lap is going to be the winner lap. Was better. Up with them, but it's okay. Stunning 30th place. Oh well, let's do something spectacular to the end. Like that. And with that, I am truly going to say thank you so much for watching. It's 1:35 p.m. a.m. here, and I definitely need to get some sleep. But I truly hope that you have enjoyed yourself, those of you who have been watching so far. I am definitely going to play more R-Factor 2 on my stream, both on YouTube and on Twitch, as I have linked them together. And I'll hope I will see you, Night Vulture TV, and perhaps also Rusty Walker the next time. If you want to know when I stream, then try to follow my, just follow my calendar on my Twitch page. I'll try to update it as much as I can. I've tried to sort of let you know that because of my family situation as it is right now with my son and all that, my wife and all those things that are together right now, I can't make a sort of an ironed out schedule because my wife's work is simply, well, to say it's just all over the place. She works at a hospital right now, and her shifts are sort of planned 1 month ahead, and it's 1 day off and 1 day total work and all that. So, and she definitely, there's sort of two conditions that she have set up. She don't want me to stream when she's at home. Well, she actually hasn't said that, but I think it's probably just me. but it's annoying to hear her fumbling around with things in the background. And also, she don't want me to stream when she's at home and sleeping, just like the time is now, because even though she's sleeping in the room next to me, and there's a relatively thick wall between us, she can hear me. She actually sent a message to me one time where she told me that I should turn the volume down and put my headphones on. And I was recording a YouTube video at that moment, and I said, "Well, I'm speaking into the microphone. What is headphones going to help on that?" But yeah, so that's the conditions that is for me right now. I hope. Well, I'm not sure they will improve in that sense, but like I said, look at my calendar. I'll update it as much as I can. I'll try to put some more games in, so if you're interested in other games, you can look at my list also on Twitch. And well, I'll see you then. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say other than my usual farewell. I use it all the time on YouTube, so I'm also going to use it here. If you like what I do, then give it a thumbs up or whatever it's called on Twitch, or follow, whatever you want. And if you want to be notified whenever I go live or put out new videos and all that jazz, then subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitch and all that. Now that I'm double streaming, you don't actually have to go on Twitch unless you think that I'm worthy of getting a affiliate at some point, because then they're going to look at my streaming hours and the followers and the views that I have. So, but that's up to you, whether you go on YouTube or Twitch. The reason why I'm really streaming is just what I had today, and I really want to thank you for that. I actually had a conversation with people on my stream, and that is why I tried to stream. But that's why I tried streaming instead of just making YouTube videos, because the YouTube videos, as good as they are, because you can record them when you want, you can edit them when you want, and you can also put them out when you want. You are really truly sitting there and talking with yourself, or at least talking with an imaginary audience, because I don't know who my audience is. When I'm streaming, I have sort of a rough idea who I'm talking with. So, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I look very much forward to my next stream. Hope you do as well. Good night or good evening, whatever time it is at you, and see you next time. Bye bye.